Hello, folks. We are starting at this time today, so as to be able um, to be here for when we have the raid train happening later. And let me just say, I am unprepared for the raid train, but we'll do it anyway. Thank you for following. Oh my God, I always forget that I still have Tom Nook be my little follow dude. It is against the Twitch laws, I guess. No. Thank you for following. I am trying to get myself organized and prepared, and that is maybe a hopeless goal, but we will see. I have updated my slideshow. Which is this like thing right below me, which is like showing random stuff I've made. I have, including that emotionless support chicken. Oh yeah, as I'm just realizing I'm cold, I need to put on the spite sweater. It is full of spite and sweater, but also New England decided that the middle of May is going to be such weather that many people are turning their heat back on. I refuse to turn my heat on in May because that is illegal. But I am just finished the sweater, and dude, the sweater is like the warmest thing ever. So, I am grateful that the weather has cooperated such that I get to try it on because and like get to wear it, because otherwise it was like I just finished it and I'm not gonna get to wear it until like September. But I was not counting on New England weather. It is, oh my God, it is the warmest, most comfy, cozy thing ever. And I beat Ian, so like winning. Also, why is this light absolutely making my whole head way too bright shiny? Well, I am like knitting nothing but cables right now, so it's very easy. You hold some stitches with your finger to the needles, and that's it. That's how we do it. But yeah, so I updated that, and then I have like created an actual PowerPoint presentation, which I need to test that it works. Hang on. I have a show PowerPoint button. It does. Look, someone said I should have slides. Excellent. So that works. and then I made a button for this thing so I could show it. Yep, okay, that works. It's just like, is anything working? Wait, I also have, oh my God, and that button is like entirely hidden. There we go. Does that button work? That button works. Yay. Okay. I am totally like it. I am not a new streamer, I promise. I have been doing this a little bit, but anyway. So what we're gonna do today, my thought was that I was gonna get a little bit more work done on this square, because of this sweater, I have not done my May squares, and it's like May 23rd. So the thing about the squares, which I need this. Wait, I actually have. Yeah. So Barako has this mystery blanket knit along thing, and there were January blocks, February blocks, March, April, May blocks, and the May blocks are cables. And so I had not been working on them, but it's actually like pretty cool. So this is the colorway I'm using. And so this is kind of what this blanket is going to look like. I mean, obviously, it's not going to look like this because these are just placeholders, but like I think I'm working on this cable easy, and this other cable easy is also for May, but like cable intermediate is later. And I think April was lace, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. This is a free pattern that Barocco has. So yes, no, I don't want a document summary. Thanks. Yeah, so April was these two lace patterns. This was knit in the round, so it was kind of neat. March was, I think, texture. No, was March texture? No, March was, one was texture and one was intarsia. So we had one texture block and then this weird intarsia block. February was fundamentally hell. February was color, but you cast on in the round on the edges, and then you somehow, through sheer force of will and determination, did not create a Mobius. I think I got in one of these to like the couple of lines into the color change before I was like, oh yeah, I twisted that at cast on because but yeah, you cast it on in the round and then you kind of just decrease it until you get to the center and pull it taut. And the decrease creates these kind of lines. And so there were 6 of them total for February. So the shortest month, the biggest number of squares. And then January had 2 more texture blocks. So kind of like a knit purl kind of texture. And I mean, this is also a knit purl kind of texture. But May, these are going to be no order whatsoever in my browser. May has these 2 blocks, so I'm working on this guy here. I'm like this. Oh yeah, you can't see what I'm showing you because there's a browser in the middle. I'm this far into it. So it's got like tiny cables and these big cables, and then and this the pattern, and then it's got these cables and a little bit of a texture in this block, which I've not started yet. I love doing this one on stream because I can show full pattern because it's free. It's entirely freely available off of the Barocco website, but I was kind of showing this one off to people like Ian because it's a really, really good way to kind of learn what you're doing, like to learn a whole wide variety of various things in knitting. So it's got, here's some texture, here's some cables, here's how to do stuff in the round, here's how to do like a really stretchy bind off, here's how to do a really kind of like not stretchy bind off. And the thing that is really cool about it too is, so May is basically cable 1 and cable 2, and June is going to be cable 3 and mosaic, and I don't even know what that is. I know what crochet mosaic is. I don't know how to do it, but I know what it is. And then July is going to be another kind of cable. August is going to be some stranded color work, as is September. And then October is going to be cable and lace together. And then November is going to be seaming, and December is going to be border and finish. So it's pretty cool. Like I am, I'm pretty excited about the whole project. And, why did I make this go away? But yeah, so like you can sort of now see like these were the first 2 textures, and these are clearly the February weird whatever blocks. But they also like represented intarsia this way. And Barocco was selling kits of like all these colors if you wanted to do it in a preset colorway, or you can obviously use whatever yarn you want. The pattern is entirely free. So again, I keep kind of like telling people about them because, they're like a very good way to, they're a very good way to just like learn some stuff. And the blocks are in and of themselves pretty simple, right? Because they each have sort of just one element, so it gets to be a little bit of a kind of a mindless knit. So, all right, what am I doing on this? This is row 27, which means that it is 25, 26, 20. This is the third row. Okay, so this is the back. No, this can't be the back row. Hi, Dan. Thank you for lurking. We're hanging out until the raid train gets here as I try to figure out what row I'm on. That was 25, that was 26, that was 27. Okay, I am not doing a cable on here, on these cables. That's going to be on the next repeat. But I don't mind cables. They're mostly mindless for me. Let me rephrase that. With my ADHD, they're as mindless as anything else is. Because even the most straightforward, just knit rows and rows and rows of knits in a round or whatever, even those, I gotta keep some attention on how many rows I'm doing or something terrible will be happening. So, and it's not like a different amount of attention, at least not for me. What did I just do? Why did I just do it? What is going on? Why are we in this handbasket? Who knows? Why are we in this handbasket? Okay. I am doing these cables and these are in the 4. So. But yeah. So I have been mostly following and riding the Makers and Crafting train since yesterday morning. And even right now, I'm like, there's some part of me that is going, oh my God, I am missing the train. I'm missing people in the train. And that's not good. I'm just like, nope, it's okay. It is okay to miss the people who are streaming while I'm streaming. Okay, I can't possibly be doing this correctly. There we go. That whole like FOMO is strong. And, like especially when you kind of combine it with imposter syndrome, or, in my case, something that my friends and I have started referring as Louisa syndrome, because we've all seen Encanto. And if you think about Louisa's song, she's the oldest sister, and her song, among other things, says, "And you think you're worthless if you can't be of service." And, we know how that goes. Yeah, I, right there with you. I was like, I need to go to sleep, but there is more train happening, but I could be helping. And, there's a balance, and it's, not always easy to maintain it. Plus, I want to see all the really cool people. I still have to go back and just like open up and follow all the people who I wasn't there to see. And I'm not, I'm not blindly following every single person on the raid train. I'm mostly following like fiber artists and like folks that make weird stuff, like the goldsmith, right? But I'm also following a lot of like the emote artists because they're very cool, and also because I'm always kind of like on the lookout for anybody who is taking commissions, because I am a maker. I am not an arter. I do not art things. Um, and what that means is that unless you want stick figure emotes, you don't want me making them. And that's okay. My friend Puka made my little like me person in the corner over there. And when I was just starting out, I think I went on Etsy and just bought a pack of emotes just so I have all those leaves in different colors. Because I was just like, nope, stick figures are us. So now I'm kind of wondering if there are streamers who literally are like, I don't art and I don't have money, so we get stick figures for our emotes. But yeah, so I try to kind of keep an eye on who I can throw dollars at for that sort of thing. Same for like overlays and whatnot, because I was just thinking I've been streaming, I mean, I'm a pandemic streamer like most people. Um, well, many people. I've been streaming for, I don't know, whatever it was now, 5 years, 4 years. And I've certainly never updated this overlay that I found somewhere. I think possibly for free. And, downloaded and stuck with, because that's what I had, and then I had never updated it. So maybe, maybe someday. But yeah, uh, I just know that I had so much fun on the December raid train, and I met so many awesome people, and I, want to make sure that more people can have that experience on this raid train. Oh, oh, hey, that does a thing. Cool. I'm just like looking at to make sure that we do not accidentally develop some capitalism while I'm not paying attention. Because I'm trying to time the capitalism to not be during the raid train. Because I was going to say like nothing's worse, but that's not true. There are many things worse. But I do not want to have people raid in and like get an ad, because those time slots are only a half an hour. So I don't want to take up any of that time with, ads for Twix or whatever it is that the Twitch decides to send me. I've seen so many ads over the course of the raid train, and it's always like, here's an ad for a horror movie. Have some jump scares, even though you absolutely don't like those. I'm just like, well, I guess ads are ads, but. And I think you're technically not supposed to get ads when you come in, like pre rolls when you come in on a raid train, but it's happened at least 3 or 4 times. So it's a little bit inevitable. So I want to make sure that when people come in, my pre rolls are off, so that no one has an excuse to miss my well prepared, very in advance made PowerPoint presentation, which is honestly a bunch of slides with just pictures stuck in them, because we're gonna look through slides of my stuff that I've made, because I don't have access to any of my stuff, because it's all packed up and in either like hidden in the attic or in boxes, or in case of my fiber, it's all like vacuum sealed and put into my friend's chest freezer. Okay, this is 2. Okay, this is the over 2 one. I've been working on this square since yesterday, because it's not particularly speedy going. They're not slow cables, but they're not very fast cables either. Nope. This cannot possibly be correct. This cannot possibly be correct. And it's not. We gotta do at least 4 before we do the. There we go. It's like that cable doesn't look like it's in the right place. But it wasn't in the terribly wrong place. It just wasn't in the terribly right place either. At least thankfully with cables, you can basically see right away when they're in the wrong place. So yeah, okay, there we go. That looks much better. Much better. Oh yeah, my thing says Linktree and Discord and YouTube, but does not do my Blue Sky, but that's okay. I guess that's fine. I do have it in my links in my about page, so that's probably good enough. Do I have a command to just show people my socials? No, that would have been smart. Maybe we will work on that. Maybe something I can do on stream, honestly. Oops. While we hang out pre-raid train. The people before me on this raid train, one of them is Pickstitch, and then the other is why am I blanking on people's names? Why am I so bad with names? Is Imperial. So like Imperial is going to be raiding into me. That is going to be insane. But such is the time slot that I picked. But I wonder, I was just saying I should make a button of something. Now I don't remember what it was. Literally, I just had this thought. I swear I took my ADHD meds. I swear. Why is my desktop audio not on? That was weird. I don't think I can do music if I don't have my desktop audio on. Hopefully that works. Okay, so that's gotten this cable. Want to finish this repeat, so it's got 2 more rows. But yeah, no, I was literally just thinking, oh, I could make that button. But I don't remember what we were talking about anymore. What were we talking about? Nope, it's gone. It is completely gone out of my brain. I'm going to listen back on this, and it's going to be obvious, because of course I will have just heard myself say it. But, nope. Literally completely gone. Completely gone. Oh. That's okay. Last time we had this raid train, I was doing some blending on the blending board, and then some spinning, and everything is too packed away for me to be able to do that. So we get to look at pictures of things instead. And that's okay, but that's okay. All right. Do not runaway stitch. No runaway stitches. Hopefully this will be hopefully the lack of exciting crafts will be made up for with an exciting PowerPoint or something. I think mostly or something, but unsure. I should be, however, at least vaguely keeping an eye on where the train is. Just, just so that I have some idea. Oh, hey, there's an announcement of the train. Oh, I forgot to check if I told RaidPal to not change my the name of my stream, but who knows if we'll succeed at that. All right, and this is the last one in this repeat. This one is a knit one. And we are not cabling here because we do that on the second row instead. And then we are, And I knit pretty fast, not as fast as Zakayla, but I think nobody's as fast as Zakayla. But I knit pretty fast. I used to be much, much faster back when I was knitting the Russian method. It was funny, I was watching Yarnia do that yesterday and realizing I have not seen anybody do it other than like me and my grandma, basically, forever. Okay, and this one is, the cable is now right on the end. But I stopped doing it because it was so hard to follow Western patterns. I had to adjust all of my decreases and my increases because they were always leaning in the wrong direction. And 6. And it's everything is like you knit through the back loop, and when you're doing stuff back and forth, right, your purls undo your twists, and that's fine. But when you're doing knitting in the round and there are no purls, then your stitches are stacked and you have like a thicker fabric. So for like hats and mittens in the round, it's desirable to have a thicker fabric if you're in places like Russia and Norway, which is where this particular methodology of knitting exists. But anyway, I switched from doing it to knitting like the sort of quote unquote normal Western style. And I'm not as fast with it as I used to be the other way, but that's okay. It's not really actually a speed competition, so unless, Ian does dumb things and challenges people. And even then, like, I probably could have finished the sweater in about half the time. It took me about 2 weeks to do it. But, okay. So that's another repeat. They're like 8-row repeats. So I've done 4. I think this is a repeat, right? So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Because a repeat is basically this cable just crossing over, but it works pretty nicely. Like, it ends up it ends up pretty neat. So, and again, like I said, I'm keeping an eye on the capitalism. Which right now, well, it looks like the capitalism is scheduled to be in about an hour. But the pre-rolls are going to come back in about a half an hour. So I think we're going to do a capitalism in a half an hour to get rid of the pre-rolls. So let me just think about that. So we need to have no ads between 9:30 and 10. Which means that if we have an ad just a little bit after 9, then we will not have another ad until after the stream ends. But in order to have an ad after 9, we need to have an ad just after 8, which is like now. I don't think we want a capitalism now because we've only been on for like 38 minutes. So, what do we do? Because if we do it in a half an hour, it'll be like 8:40. And then it'll try to run again at 9:40. Or we'd need to run one at like 9:15, which would be a half hour. I think we might need to do one now. Let's do a capitalism now. And I'll go into BRB, and I will in fact be RB. I think we're back from the capitalism. I think. We have an hour and 48 minutes before the next capitalism, and I think we'll be able to stave it off. But we have 59 minutes until pre-rolls, which means that in 59 minutes, or just a bit after 9, we're gonna need to run another set of ads, and that should be fine. That should be fine, because that'll be right before the... Yeah, that'll be right before the raid train gets here, so... Alright, how are we doing here? Alright, so this is, like I said, this is 4 repeats, and 4 repeats is about 5 inches. And we need to get to 12, which means that we'll need... probably... like... another 5 repeats, right? Because another 4 repeats will get us 5 inches, so we'll be at 10. And like another 2 repeats after that is going to get us 2.5, so we'll get us 12.5. So that should be about correct. Like not actually correct, but like about correct. Okay. Let's not have the pen in front of everything. I'm just glad I don't currently have any Monopoly stitches I need to do, because I am not set up to be doing any cross stitch on stream. I have just like not done that at all. I don't really know, like... I guess in theory I could be just doing it, but this is one of the patterns that I have on Etsy that I am trying to pre-stitch, and it's going to say craft and let craft, and then these are going to have color in them and stuff. These are going to be small and cute. It can live over there. I did add my blue sky to my, like, my channel description things, but I don't know if I ever added my Etsy store. Maybe I should like do that. Kind of never know, but let's see. Not to my dashboard showing my, you know, recent activity, but like, how do I, where's like the link to just my store? I think maybe this is just the copy. No, not, whoa. That's not what I meant to do. I think that. Let's see if pasting that in fact takes me, yeah, to my little tiny store, which has only a few little tiny things in it so far, but like, you know, let's well, I can only have up to 5 links, so maybe that means that I have to add it to my link tree, which does exist. I've not like looked at it in forever. I don't want a cookie preference. Okay. Link to my Blue Sky, link to my TikTok, link to my Twitch, my Instagram, my YouTube, Discord. Okay. Don't want to sign up for free. How do I? Don't want to sign up for free. How do I log into Linktree? That's I want to share my Linktree. Okay, sure. Let's go to sign up for free. If I go to sign up, well, there's the login button. They make this very hard. They make this very hard for no good reasons. Okay, are we logging in? We are, yay. Do not want Linktree Pro. For sure, do not need. Nor do I need, that's not what I want. I do not want Linktree Analytics. Because that's free trial of something or other. Here we go. Here are all my... Apparently I did not finish connecting my Instagram. And let's add... Here's my Etsy store. Okay, why is my Instagram having a problem? Oh, it's because it needs me to have a professional account. Yeah, nope, I'm not switching my Instagram, so that's fine. Because, yeah. Okay, so that adds my... I think that added my... Okay, yes, yes, act now for Ukraine. Okay, so that sort of works. Need this thumbnail. No, I want to choose one of these icons. Do we not have an Etsy icon? Right. Okay. So that should be fine. You go away. You stay. Reload. Do the right thing. Okay. Good. I guess now that exists. Okay. Back to watching the raid train, because we gotta watch the raid train. Because I think I can't not watch the raid train. Oh, I needed to also message my BFF. My BFF was like, remind me when you're streaming, and if I'm able to, I will come hang out. But I don't know if she'll be able to, because it's Friday, so she's at services. All right, so let's keep going on this thing, because I figure we can kind of just keep going on this thing until it's raid train time. And then we can, entertain the masses or something. I think definitely or something, but... All right, this is gonna be the first row of the repeat again. So it's gonna be row 33. This pattern starts with the wrong side row, so It's very weird because the even rows are the right side rows with the cables in them, and that is just like pretty fundamentally unusual for how patterns are done. So I don't know why they did it that way, but they did. So it's probably like they probably discuss it because every time they have a new month and new squares, they do release like a YouTube video of some people doing the squares, which, you know, is kind of cool and helpful. But they might have talked about why they did this way. And yeah, so we're gonna take part in this awesome raid train. My slot is at 9:30, which is in about an hour, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on the train over here. And in the train, Dubdemo just is about to raid out to Pickstitch, but I'm not seeing yet the movement to the raid, but it'll happen. It shall happen. Everybody's talking about all of their like fundraising efforts, and last time I did a fundraiser was when, like in 23, I think. When Russia attacked Ukraine, and we were doing some fundraising for Ukraine because God knows they needed it, and they still need it. But don't like asking my friends for money too often, so okay, the train has moved to Pickstitch, so that's pretty cool. I do not know what Pix is going to be doing, but I'm going to keep an eye on Pix's PowerPoint or whatever he does about slides, because maybe I will see something that I need to do. Oh, this is going to be a cable. Apparently what I need to do is actually do the cable that is next in this pattern, because that is what is happening on this row. I feel like these flyaway hairs, they're in my way, but people who do cables with a cable needle, I do not understand. Like, it drove me crazy to have to use a cable needle. And I kind of ditched it as soon as humanly possible. But there's people who just kind of swear by cable needles. And it doesn't seem to slow them down the way that it absolutely 100% slowed me down. Oh my god, Pix has 325 people in his stream. Well, at least some of them are going to go away, and it's not going to be 300 people raiding into here. God, because I don't know what I would do with 300 people raiding into here. It's not a thing that I am able to do. All right, so this is 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, and get this cable done. Yeah, and these are like 2x2 cables, so they do not need Super do not need a cable needle. I'm pretty excited about this music too. This is it's called like Empower or something. Um, Zakayla introduced me to it because I was like, if I have to do another, like, listen to more lo-fi with. Wait, no. What am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, these are plain knits. What is going on? Brain. We have a brain. Please let's keep having a brain. Could we keep having a brain? Maybe. I'm not sure we in fact can, but okay. I have no idea what these songs are. These are not like songs that I actually know, because those cannot be in VODs or YouTube videos later. I really wish that there was a way to do that, because, like, you know, I know there's copyright and all that, but I wish there was a way to just, without it costing arms and legs, for like little small time streamers to be able to include like actual music. It's actually like with lyrics and stuff. Because there's so much 80s dance pop that I would have on my stream in that case. But we get this instead, and at least it has some more interest than lo-fi nonsense. But not that there's anything wrong with lo-fi nonsense, but sometimes I'm like streaming and there's lo-fi in the background and my body's like, ah yes, this is the nap time music. Time to go to sleep. And that's not what I actually want to be doing on a stream, right? So also, there's my watch telling me, oh, it's gonna run out of batteries. Okay. That's a thing that's happening. Also, why have I dropped 0.2% of frames? Do not do this to me today, OBS. This is not the day to be dropping frames and having problems. Yeah, I see. Twitch is like, Pix is like, here's when I started streaming. Me, I have no idea when I started streaming. I know when I hit affiliate, but I don't have any idea when I started streaming. And also, I did not put when I hit affiliate into my PowerPoint. Should I have? Probably not. This row finished. Okay. 35. Oh, I think we got to the part of this where the yarn is just wrapped around. What is going on here? Okay. That is what's going on. Fine. Yarn. All right. So that was, let's see, 32, 33, 34, 35. No, that can't be. I'm so confused about rows. So we did, that was row 33. That was row 34. We did row 35. That's the third row of the pattern. It's going to be the fourth row of the pattern. Okay. Boy. One, two. Okay, fourth row does not have a. Okay. So no tiny cradles here. We will have, of course, the main. Okay, so go on to the main one. This is the fourth row, so it's 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I think that means it's 2 from this end. Yep. 2. Stop that. No dropping stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I finally went earlier this week to see Thunderbolts, which I have been meaning to see all month, but I was knitting the sweater instead. I finally saw him. It's a really good movie. It was very much in the like, no one is alone, take care of each other sort of messaging to it, which, like, there are worse messages for superhero movies to have. Especially like, I mean, there are nitpicky things to nitpick, right? It was a dude who was clearly needing but not getting therapy. It was a femme presenting person who basically had to do the emotional labor for him. But it is comics, so I'm not sure we could have expected much of anything else, honestly. So like that's a general problem that happens. But other than that, it was a very good movie. It established the new Avengers. The end credits established the Fantastic Four crossover into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm very excited to see their movie as well. Because they have a Galactus problem, I think, in their movie. So, because we've got the Fantastic Four movie, and then we've got Avengers Doomsday, which is going to be the team up. And then next year or the year after that, we're going to have Avengers Secret War, I think. So. This is not bad music, as these things go. Basically, like, searched for poppy music with vocals, and that's what this whole playlist is. It's poppy music with vocals. So what is happening over here? Nope. Okay, this was supposed to be a knit stitch the previous row. Can we fix that now, please? Yep. Okay, there we go. It's like, what is the problem here? Problem is, like, it is late enough that the Adderall is worn off. That's the problem. There's a knot. There's a knot in my yarn. Morocco, come on. Like, it's not even the kind of knot that's like a join. It's literally, there's just a knot. Pshaw. That's what I gotta say to that. Pshaw. Okay, so that was row 37, which means it was row 5. Yeah, because there's 3 more. I do need to, as always, go and pop in and see what is going on in my, thing that is what? Stream manager, that's the thing. I'm like, and the thing that is watching my stream for me. Stream manager is the thing that I mean. And then go back to oh yeah, also I should probably bring up the stream of the person I will be raiding into, because they are also now live. Or, well, they're on a starting soon. Do not know what they will be doing, because, oh, I think they're going to be crocheting. Everybody's stream titles is like Raid Train, which is fine, but does not, in fact, help one figure out what their stream is going to be about. Other than raid training, which, to be fair, like, mine also says Raid Train. But I think at least I mentioned that we're going to be knitting, so that people have some clue. So that I have some clue, so I, like, when I go to, like, export this to YouTube or whatever, I have some recollection of what the heck we were doing. Okay. So I said we have three things left. So we are doing a cable here. It's been I was going to say it's been a while, but it's been the exact specific number of rows that it needs to be before we do a cable again. So it's been precisely the correct amount of time. Yep, there we go. Doozy cables. Oh, I should put my little buttons messages, because I have been forgetting to press the buttons. Oh, yay. My BFF just got home, so she can join me on this here thing. And meanwhile, what was I going to do? Oh, yes, I was going to make sure that I went and looked at the capitalism. So we have 28 minutes, yeah, before pre-rolls happen. So that's good. So in 28 minutes is when we're going to need to run an ad, and that's going to be a decent amount of time before the raiders get here. So, but when RGB gets here, it's my BFF, I might pause knitting for a little bit and go over my PowerPoint before anybody else gets here, so that she can give me some opinions on it, because I need opinions. Okay, and here we're doing, this is 1, 2, 3, so this is 2, and then do the cable. 2, and then do the cable, and then rest of the knits. But yeah, this project is basically like the equivalent of a hand fidget. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cable, knit 2 more. And we are doing the little cables, or we were on the other side, and I have not yet forgotten, because like it's only been like 3 minutes, so, and I do totally forget things right away because I still haven't remembered what it was that I was gonna do. But oh, hey RGB, thank you for subscribing for an infinity amount of months. We are hanging out, waiting until the raid train gets here at 9:30, but now that you are here, I would like to run a PowerPoint presentation by you. You ready for that? You can get a sneak preview of the PowerPoint that I'm gonna do when people get here. Ooh, wait, 19-3? Who are they playing? Like me and you? Are we the opposing team? Because like, because I feel like 19-3 is the sort of score you have when like, two somewhat disabled and not very physically active humans attempt to play the baseball. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, we would need other people on the team with us. We might get somebody with some amount of skill. Maybe some like people from the not even like the Woo Sox, like the elementary school team. And I think if the Red Sox were like, oh, the children are adorable, let us stand here and pick our nose instead of playing. Yeah, the Temple softball team, then like, well, probably then they wouldn't score. But, the small children, they might be like, oh, adorable small children. Oh, isn't that cute? They're trying. And then look, the small children scored three points. Yeah, there you go. Maybe with some kittens for extra distracting. Okay, so I want to test my PowerPoint on you. Okay? So, step 1, does my button to show the PowerPoint work? It does. Do I need to remember to get rid of the blanket pattern first? I do. So, look, it's me, Pow Vulcan, because someone said I'm supposed to have slides. Everybody's been having slides, and the running gag has been like, some of us are makers. Yeah, it's purple. It's the purple that comes with Microsoft. What is it clashing with? Is it clashing with like this purple down here? All right, hang on. I'm gonna try to make the other purple just like not visible. Is that better? Is that better for you? Because then the other purple's not really here. Okay. This is good enough. That is not the part we're caring about. Okay. Advanced slides. There we go. My name is Pow Vulcan. And if you know IPA symbols, that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. Whoops. I don't know how much I like this. Let me go out of this mode and like go and edit it. Nope, that's not the mode I want either. I think that's the. That is a terrible. Let me go to normal view. Thank you. It's probably because I absolutely cannot spell, because I did look it up. I'm like, how do people explain how to do this? Yeah, well, it's tepow. All right, I got my pronouns on there. And obviously I stream variety, but mainly fiber arts these days, with some diamond painting and some cozy games, some Sims, some Stardew Valley, and then like Planet Crafter and various things like that. And then I've got pictures of my art, because all of my house is packed up because I'm trying to sell it. So I don't have access to most of my things. They're all packed up. They're either in the attic or in boxes or in RGB's house in her chest freezer. So like, that's a thing. Anyway, so on this particular page, what I tried to do is kind of like show some of my spinning and stuff I've made out of it. So we've got my spinning wheel on a plane. And then I've got this, I spun this green and blue thing, and then I plied them together for a 4-ply. And so I had a 4-ply which had a solid of green and a 4-ply that had a solid of blue. And some of that chicken is made out of that. And B, kind of like that scarf that's on the bottom row is made out of that. And then there's also the black to white through kind of stages of brown gradient as well, which had become a shawl. They are organized weirdly, but that's kind of okay. And I don't have anything made out of the green in the upper right because I haven't made anything out of it. I can, but all right, hang on. I'd want to move both the shawl and its yarn. Right? Like, yeah. Okay. So that's the spinning pictures. Then we've got, did you know that you can make amigurumi without crocheting anything? Because, yeah, what inning are we in that it's 519? Like, how much time do they have to actually, like... Oh, top of the 9th. Okay, are they playing at Fenway? No. They're playing away. Oh, no, they're at Fenway. So top of the ninth is Baltimore. So as long as they don't score like 14 more runs, there's not going to be a bottom of the ninth, right? So unless they just continuously do nothing but run in the circle to score 14 more times, they're probably not gonna fix that problem. Anyway, so this slide has some of the amigurumi I made with knitting. Oh my god, they're not scoring 14 runs. This is like basically a lot of things with pipe cleaners in them. Okay, but that means they can only score like 3 more runs. 4, I guess, more. Game over. Did they score anything? Or is it still 19-5? Because that is still like, okay. That is an insane score. That's like a basketball type score. Okay, not quite, but okay. So yeah, did you know that amigurumi is not just for crochet? Because some of us did not know how to crochet at all, but you know, then we started learning how to crochet. So that little dumpster fire is the first thing I've ever crocheted. And then I crocheted that granny square sweater thing. The dumpster fire is adorable. And Enchanter now has that one. Then I crocheted the little death that I did on stream last October for Halloween. Because I was like, I don't celebrate Halloween, but everybody's doing spooky themed things. We're going to figure out how to crochet this nonsense on stream. And we did, and there was even minimal cursing. And also then we made the little dragon, which is also full of pipe cleaners. And then I made, so we're kind of going in a circle here. And then I made the neck cowl, which is like still the most complicated thing that I've ever crocheted. Thanks, Dan. This is my first, second, third, fourth, and fifth crochet project ever. So I am still not a crocheter, but I can mostly attempt to fake it now, sort of. Someday I will try like the elaborate shawls, but not yet. There was cursing, but not like a lot of cursing. Yeah, cause I'm a knitter. This is what I do instead of the crocheting. And sadly, you cannot really see the beads in either of the two shawls. You can see them a little bit in this like picture of me wearing it at a restaurant in London. But I like knitting lace. I like knitting lace a lot. Also, like, this is the worst pictures of blocking that are like on various couches and whatnot. Yep, and that is also your Nyan cat. Because I found a way to make it with knitting and not with crocheting, so there we go. And also there's this sweater that I'm wearing now because New England weather has very nicely made it possible for me to wear a really warm wool sweater by being so cold that many people have turned their heat on. But yeah, and then, so I've got this slide, and then I've got, oh yeah, also I do this other random nonsense slide. So I've got like rigid heddle weaving, and this is the floor loom weaving, hand for scale, and this is tablet weaving to the right of that. And then below that is some dice that I made, not very well, but I did make them. And a cross-stitch pattern that is on my Etsy store. And some diamond-painted little dragons that I made for my housemate. And then I've got the big satellite walker from Horizon Zero Dawn. Actually, I think it's technically from Horizon Forbidden West, but And then there's some yarn dyeing that is happening over here because, like, tall neck, thank you. It is 9 p.m. There has been no Adderall for like 12 hours, so words are hard. But yes, I put together the tall neck. I put together the tall neck on stream too. That was like a lot of fun that we had. You and me, we both need the Adderall, RGB. Thank you. Yeah, right. Yeah. We need the Adderall. But yeah, so there is like other stuff that I've been working on. Like I'm working on this little, well, let me make this go away so that I can show the little crochet that I'm working on. Yay, right? What is even a schedule? We don't have a schedule. Let me get this back to the start for when it's actually time to do it. But, oh, you saw a typo. Where did you see the typo? Where was the typo? What did I typo? Yeah, there we go. I was like writing this while conducting the train thing. So save, please. Thank you. Okay, go back to the start. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Make the PowerPoint go away. Let me just double check that I don't need to be running the capitalism quite yet. Oh God, and Imperial is live, and Imperial is going to be raiding into me, and this is going to be terrifying because it's Imperial. Imperial is the person who made the insides of a whatchamacallit sleeping bag for Think Geek, however long ago that was. Yes, I should do capitalism in about 12 minutes so that we don't have pre-rolls and so it's before the raid. But yeah, so I was gonna say I also have this like that I've been working on. It's tiny, but it's one of the patterns that I'm have put up onto my Etsy that says craft and let craft, and then it's got like these that are gonna have color. Yeah, like it's gonna be cute and little. It's like a 5x5. But I'm working on it because I'm test working on the cross stitch. And then the other thing I was going to talk to people about is, so there's two things. One is I was going to talk about the Barocco Mystery Knit Along, which I need to find so I can scroll it because it's a browser. So it's a free. Yeah, well, this is the thing I'm knitting. It's what I'm talking about, in fact, right now. So this is the Barocco is doing a mystery blanket knit along, and every month they release a couple of squares that eventually get put together. Because I was working on the Spite sweater instead, I have not done May squares yet. So this is the first of the 2 May squares. This thing is free. There's a link to it. But we can kind of take a look at it a little bit. So like these were the 2 January squares. January was texture. And February were these funky squares that were cast on the edge. March had an intarsia and then another texture. They were very weird. And then April had lace, and this lace was also done in a round, but at least like starting from the middle. And this lace, which was normal. And then May, which is what I'm doing now, has this cable. This should look vaguely familiar. And then it's going to have also this cable, which I have not done yet. And basically, this is kind of like their... this is roughly what your blanket's going to look like when you're done. So I'm doing this colorway. So this is kind of like what it's going to look like when it's all done. So... I have been kind of advertising this thing to everybody because it is high. I would like to be able to not press that button 4 times. Because it's a really good way to learn like a billion. Yes, I pressed the button like 4 times because I was pressing the wrong button and wondering why it wasn't doing what I thought it was supposed to be doing. But like it's a very good way to like learn a whole bunch of different techniques. And if you are not like a oldie-timey knitter, but you know, are potentially just starting out or whatever, it's pretty good for like learning, you know, 3 different ways to do lace and a bunch of different ways to do cables and a bunch of different ways to do textures. And it's like, it's a sampler, right? So that's the whole point of a sampler. Also, I want to do this row so that when people are here, I'm doing like an interesting row and not, you know, a going back across the pattern and nothing is happening row. And then once I finish this row, we're going to do a capitalism because we have 7 minutes before we start having pre-rolls again. I want to run the capitalism before that happens. And also that staves off it running automatically by an hour, and we stop being on at 10. Oh, thank you for following. Yeah, so that way we kind of avoid having the capitalism in the middle of a raid. Yes, Tom Nook is still there because I don't have a better set of things to be like waving at followers with. So we get Tom Nook instead. Why is this yarn picking up my bottle cap? He is still here. I also have still some of the like overlays from Animal Crossing because I was streaming it like not that long ago, like 2 years ago at most, for my second island with all those villager searches to get all the goats. Yeah, something like that. I don't have that island anymore because I gave Dennis back his Switch. So I only have my original island somewhere on my Switch. And I have not, well, that's the island that had like the castle on it and stuff. It's all terraformed. Yeah, I do. I have the island with the flowers still. But I built some of the castle. But I gave it up because I stopped, like I could not get my rocks organized, basically. Hi. Yes, Imperial absolutely needs no babysitting. I, on the other hand, might. I'm gonna run a capitalism in a minute or two. Well, probably like imminently, so that it doesn't become a capitalism, you know, when the train is here. Sure, because it is the Adderall wore off o'clock. I have an alarm like on my phone that's going to ring probably soon. Right? I took it at like 9 a.m. It's been 12 hours. There is not enough extended in that extended release. But yeah, oh, hey, Pukara. Ooh, I have a button for Pukara somewhere. Yay, I do have a button for Pukara. Pukara is amazing. Pukara drew my my little me picture in the little circle. It is like a tiny little mini raid train. Welcome. I was just about to run some capitalism so that I did not have it in time for the main big train. I did want to go to links and press this button um, because that's the button that where anybody who wants to can click on those two links and see who else is when in the raid train, so you can like ride along. But the train is going to get here at 9:30, and then I'm going to go through my PowerPoint slides because I made them, and also like talk incessantly about probably yarn. And then at 10, we are gonna go raid a person named Chimera's QC, Chimera's Quirky Creations, who is crocheting, it looks like cool amigurumi things. So we will go there after us, and I have Imperial up so that I can kind of follow along. I don't know what Imperial is showing, but I think maybe sewing or fabric or something. I don't know. Trying to not pay too much attention. But also I am trying to keep an eye on my stuff. Okay, let's take a 3-minute break and have some capitalism so that we have the opportunity to not have it later, not have to go potty later, because I am 3 apparently, and also like get another drink and whatnot. And everybody should do that as well. And I will see folks in 3 minutes. Okay. I think we might be back from capitalism. It is telling me that we're back from capitalism. That doesn't mean that we are, but it is telling me that we are. I need to remember this time, unlike last time, to remember to talk about loose ends. RGB, you're supposed to remind me that I need to talk about loose ends. Like at the end where I'm going like, what else was I supposed to be talk about? Well, that's not Twitch saying I'm back. That is Seribot telling me. Seribot just goes when knows when 3 minutes are done. Oh, the green thing at the top. It lies sometimes. But anyway, now we have 59 minutes of no pre-rolls and an hour and 47 minutes of no, like, automatic capitalism. So that's good. And theoretically, we have, like, maybe 10 minutes before people get here, I think. Yeah. No, last raid train in December, I completely forgot to talk about loose ends, and loose ends is like a cool thing to not forget to talk about. But yeah. Oh, I should check, because I am almost done with repeat 5, and I should check if my math about the measurements was actually vaguely correct. Yeah, okay, so each repeat is about an inch, although 4 repeats were like about 5 inches. So I still think I'm gonna end up doing maybe like 9 repeats total, or 10 repeats total for like a 12-inch square. But I'm unsure if that's like actually true. 20 minutes? Yeah, well, that's late dinner. Oh, did he not go to thing with you today? Oh no, this is like the week where the kids did things. Oh, okay. Oh, but you guys didn't do like ah. Ah, okay, got it. And then you guys are doing dinner. Okay. Right. Cool. That is yeah, that takes time. That's valid. I have been having meals delivered to me at this desk that I've been glued to since yesterday, 10 a.m. So, although I did take a break at like 5 o'clock to go and make the chicken meatballs that Steve did not know how to make. So that was my like break for the day. I stepped away from my desk to go and make chicken meatballs. You can't talk. I have my SO in the house with me for 2 weeks. But yes, it's been nice. It's been less nice that the raid train has coincided with him getting here, but you know, such is life. Also, the raid train is almost here, and like I am totally not nervous. I am so freaking nervous. Because there's like 170 people there who are all going to end up here, at least some of them are going to end up here. And that's slightly terrifying. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. RGB, come on, please. Do I know how to play it cool? No. I have no idea how to play it cool. And I don't even have, fun baseball to discuss, like when you just got in. Shut up. I do what I want. Probably shouldn't, not with white yarn. The question is, should I, hang on. Should I finish? No, we cannot talk about the business meeting. If I do this next row, I need to do the following row as well before the train gets here. which is fine because I have, I think, 7 minutes. Worldcon is cool. Everybody should go to it. We're going to Worldcon in Seattle. Actually, more importantly for this community, we're going to the Fiber Flock Festival, which is in Seattle in the middle of August. And I am planning on stocking up on like all the fiber ever. And that should be fun. I have been telling people on like the various discords I'm in about Worldcon, and nobody knows where it is, which is hilarious. Like, it's such a big part of like our specific little sub nerd group community, but in like the rest of the world, nobody has any idea what it is. It is totally eating our lives, but like we let it on purpose because it's fun, right? We do this because it's fun, right? But I just saw somewhere that you said that I'm bringing an extra suitcase, and I'm totally bringing an extra suitcase because, oh my god, Imperial is actually like stitching something. Okay, so this is gonna be all the way at the other end, so it's gonna be 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do the little cable, because it kind of goes all the way across the section in the fullness of the repeat. So do you mean how does one I am on row 8. How does one do cables, or how do I specifically do cables? Like, because I do not bother with a cable needle. So I am not in a place where I need to do a cable, but if I wanted to cross these, so right, so there's 4 stitches here, and the cable happens because these 2 get crossed over those 2. So what I do is I pull them off the needle and like press them to this needle. I knit the subsequent 2, and then I move them onto this needle, and then I knit them, right? Except I'm not gonna actually do that because that's not what this pattern wants right now. So normal people, who are not me, have a special needle called a cable needle onto which they put the stitches that they are, you know, holding either to the front or to the back. And I cannot possibly be bothered, so... Okay, so that was the end of the repeat on row 40. It's a little bit anxiety provoking, but it's not, because I'm like literally, I'm pressing them to the thing, but also like the stitches don't just vanish when they come off the needle, right? Like they come off the needle and then I can pick them back up. They're not, like they don't disappear. The yarn holds shape. Yours vanish if you yank on the string, they vanish. But if you don't yank on the string, they don't vanish. So, you know, right, we've got like 3 minutes. Do you, oh moderator, remember how to do shout outs? You're going to be able to do a shout out for Imperial when they get here? Well, you have to put in a name. So you do exclamation SO and then a person's name. So like try shouting out, I don't know, this new island. Yes, like that. Right. So we're going to get a raid from somebody called Imperial, like spelled Imperial. And when we do, it would be very useful if you could give a shout out to Imperial when they get there, when they get here. Thank you. because that's going to be in like 2 minutes, and I'm going to try to not let it get to me. It's okay. When I'm on, I'm on. I've been watching a lot of VTubers as part of this train. And yes, this too shall pass. And it makes me like want to be a VTuber. But like not, it's like when instead of showing a picture of you, you have like an image that looks like a you, that's like a chibi you or something that's rigged up to move when you move because like it's connected to your camera, but it doesn't like show your actual video. So yeah, but not everybody likes showing faces, especially people who stream a lot, right? Like being on camera is exhausting. So a lot of people don't do the faces. And having a VTuber, right? Like it gives you something to still focus on because it's like a representation of the person. So, all right, we're gonna finish this row, which is row 1. I do. It's in my PowerPoint. Oh, there's the upcoming 3 slots, I guess. Okay, so advance that. That's done. My stream is going. This is going. There is no capitalism. Life is good. Let me make this pattern go away. And bring the PowerPoint to where I can find it. We are calm. We are calm. We're not actually calm, but that's okay. Hello, Raid Train. Welcome. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for visiting Imperial. I hope your Raid Train stop was good. And yeah, welcome to our little corner of mostly fiber arts and also some other things. I am totally not freaking out. I am completely calm and cool, and I know what I'm doing, for real. I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay. I am breathing. I am breathing, and I'm going to drink this Fresca. Because there are like a billion people, and normally I have like 3. But welcome, Raiders. Thank you for joining me on this Raid Train stop. We're going to look at a PowerPoint presentation because somebody said there should be slides, and I made slides because you know what corporate office life teaches me? It teaches me that there are PowerPoints. and I made them, and they look like Microsoft PowerPoint because that's how they're made. Because I'm a crafter, not an arter. So you know, we're gonna deal with the fact that I am not an arter. Okay, hi everybody. I am T'Pau of Vulcan. I should not have knit the PowerPoint, and somebody's actually said that I should have slides, so we're gonna hope that the slide deck works and that we have found all the typos. Hi, so yes, like I said, my name is T'Pau of Vulcan. If you know IPA symbols, that's how you pronounce T'Pau. If you don't know, it's pronounced T'Pau. of Vulcan, obviously. I use she, her pronouns, and I stream all kinds of things, but these days, mostly fiber arts. I had started out as an Animal Crossing streamer in 2020, like one does, because there was a pandemic and not much else to do. And then I was like a Sims streamer for a while. And then I was streaming like an actual play vampire game with, among other things, Hedgie Cleric, who was like, "Oh yeah, I stream crochet," and you know, I was like, "Wait, you can stream crafts? Like I've been knitting a lot." In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I found out that I've been knitting twice as long as Ian has been alive, as part of the Spite Sweater saga. So, that's a thing. But yeah, so I've been knitting forever, and it just kind of never occurred to me that I could be doing like fiber arts on stream. But Hedgie Clark was like, "Oh yeah, I crochet, come look at my stream." And I did. And then she raided into Sleeping Luna Designs, and I was like, "Oh my god, you are streaming spinning. I too could be doing this. Why have I not been doing this? This is silly." And that more or less changed like everything. So yeah, I still play games sometimes. Not so much Animal Crossing anymore, but a bunch of Stardew and its like related things, and things like Planet Crafter and whatnot. But one of the reasons we're going to look at this PowerPoint, by the way, is that I don't really have like access to a lot of my projects right now because my house is completely packed up. I'm trying to sell it, so it needs to look like no one lives here, which is very difficult if you have like crafting. And thank you, Imperial, please go de-stream and take care of yourself. But yeah, if you like do crafting and costuming and medieval reenactment and LARPing, it's very difficult to pack up your life. But everything I own is kind of packed up, and it's either in boxes or hidden in the attic, or it's like in RGB's chest freezer, because that's what I did with all of my fiber, to make sure that none of it has anything flying around in it. So we get photos instead of like actually projects. But that's okay. We're going to look at a little bit of like my various crafts here. So as you can see there in the upper, I know my left from my right, left, that's my spinning wheel. It's actually on a plane. That's an electric Eel 6, and I love it. And you can spin with it in the economy on a transatlantic flight. But, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze. Ooh, nice. I have a Kiwi. I have an Ashford Kiwi for my like kind of normal wheel, but I have the Eel for my like little portable, which I love. It has sped up my everything. I used to have the Hitchhiker, and it had like one treadle, and I realized that I can't. I have to have two, or I can't actually maintain spin. But getting the electric and kind of getting the feet out of the equation has worked so much better for my, let's just generously call it lack of coordination. Some people have no hand-eye coordination. I have no hand-feet coordination, like having them do the same thing. But the electric has been a lifesaver, so I very much love it. But I've got some examples of my spun here, including that green and blue stuff where one has a solid green and then a variegated, and the other has a solid blue and a variegated. And I actually plied the two together into two kind of hanks. And then that chicken and that scarf is primarily made out of that. And then there is the variegated from Fiber Optic, which goes from black through shades of brown to a white, and kind of like the shawl that was made from it. the green is actually what I was working on the last time we had this raid train in December. Um, you do, and then you need to stream it, and I will watch. But that green is so I got this yak merino silk blend, and then I carded in on the board, right, more silk into it because there was like not enough silk in it, obviously. But it's blended, so it's got a little bit more silk in it. And I spun the green, and I was working on the burgundy that goes with it on the last raid train. And I need to still spin that burgundy. I did finish doing stuff with it. Yeah, that is kind of the eternal struggle, 9. That is the eternal struggle of like the gifted children. Yeah. But I'm supposed to be good at everything. Mom said so. Teacher said so. I am smart. Yeah, no. Practice. Yeah, well, so last raid train, I only picked up one. I picked up diamond painting, and I have not yet picked up a new hobby this train. So we're going to move on to the next one. Did you know that amigurumi is not just for crochet? Because, like, I did not know how to crochet. Let me say, I did learn, technically speaking, to crochet before I learned to knit. I was about 3. I was sick, I think with the mumps. Grandma taught me how to make chain, and then went to the store. And when she got home, all of her yarn, literally all of it, had been turned into chain and very neatly balled up because I was that kind of 3-year-old. But the chain was kind of like the only thing I ever learned. And then I learned to knit because, like cross stitch, my parents and the educators of that time period in Soviet Russia thought that if you taught your child how to do cross stitch or knitting or whatever, they would sit still better. I don't think that worked very well, but like I did learn how to knit out of it. But anyway, so these are a bunch of kind of like sea critters and a jackalope that I knit because you in fact can make amigurumi out of knitting. You do not need to know how to crochet. It's just different. Very, very, very different. Yeah. I mean, like, I knit sweaters and things. I was like a very dedicated 4 and 5 and 6-year-old. I knit a lot of things for all of my like stuffed animals. But yeah, so these were actually a lot of fun. I really like making the octopus because it's got pipe cleaners in all of its little legs. And the jellyfish are just fun. Like they're very quick, and you can make a little mobile of them because they're kind of hanging there, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I did that for a while, and then I was like, okay, fine. Especially if I'm gonna stream fiber arts, I should learn how to crochet. Especially because like my BFF RGB over there is a crocheter rather than primarily a knitter, so I was like, okay, I can do this, and I should stop complaining about it. So here in sort of like a little circle, we've got all of the knitting, all of the crocheting that I've literally ever done, right? I started with the dumpster fire because I figured that was appropriate. I crocheted, yeah, I know, right? I crocheted the dumpster fire. It is adorable and I love it. And then I saw Sleeping Luna Designs making the like granny square t-shirt sweater thing. And I figured that would be a great second ever crochet project. So that's all my hand spun yarn that's used in that project. And it did work out. Like, it's not bad. I like it. It fits. Thank you. Thank you for shouting out Luna. Luna's awesome. And then in the fall, everybody was doing spooky things. So I was like, on stream, I will learn how to do this. And I crocheted the little death. And then I crocheted the little dragon. There was some amount of cursing. RGB remembers a lot more cursing than I do, but there was some amount of cursing. And then I was watching, I think actually during the raid train last last time, I was watching the Crafty Cub crochet that cowl. And that's like, I think it was like a free pattern from whatever, like the Red Heart people. Thank you for doing all those shout outs. That's awesome. Yeah, so I made that purple cowl. It's also made from some of my hand spun because I was trying to use up some of my hand spun because I do spin it faster than I make things with it. And that's, to this day, is still like the most complicated thing I've ever crocheted, but there it is. And then, yeah, so I'm a knitter. I knit. This is the things I knit. I really like primarily making lace shawls. I torture myself with beads, which you mostly cannot see in these pictures. You can see the beads like a little bit on the purple shawl while I'm wearing it, but like I was blocking it upside down, so you can't quite see it. And then I made the rainbow barf scarf for RGB because I finally found a pattern to do it with knitting. And then there's the Spite sweater, which I am wearing. It's full of cables. You can kind of see the cables on camera. But like somebody challenged somebody else, and a bunch of us jumped in on the challenge, and then we were all knitting this sweater out of spite. Hence why it's known as the Spite sweater. Yeah, the beads are a pain. They are just a pain, but they look so good when you're done. So I keep doing them. But yeah, New England weather has been cooperating. It was like 46 degrees yesterday. So like this incredibly warm, bulky sweater I'm actually able to wear it because I was literally cold. But yeah, so this is just like some of my knitting. And then here's some of the other stuff that I do. So there's some rigid heddle weaving up in the upper left. And then the floor loom weaving, which I have not yet figured out how to stream the floor loom because it's in a different room and nowhere near any of my equipment. So it's very difficult to figure out how to do it. But that's like a roll for whatever. I stuffed it with pens, but yeah, maybe after I move, yeah. And then all of that pile of A's, that's tablet weaving. And then I've made some dice, which I really need to get back to at some point. And I've got a cross stitch in there. And there's the little diamond painting. That was the first diamond painting I did with those little dragons for my housemate for winter holidays. And I've put together Legos. I do some Legos and like little model building and stuff on stream as well. And that's a tall neck from Horizon Forbidden West, I think. And then there's some yarn dyeing over there. And I don't know if you can see, but there's the pot of blue yarn dye and then a pot of just the fiber. So the fiber is getting slowly fed into the pot of dye so that you end up with kind of like a variegated blue there, which worked, right? Like I totally did the variegated blue there. That's it. Like those are all my pictures. Thanks for sitting through a PowerPoint. I don't have a schedule because everything is complicated. Thank you for follows. I'm like missing all the names of all the people following, but thank you. But yeah, let me make this PowerPoint thing go away so that it's not there. I'm working on a bunch of other stuff too, like that I don't have photos of. Like I'm working on this little cross stitch because this is one of the patterns that I have on my Etsy that I wanted to create a thank you create like a sample of a test pattern basically. So it's going to say craft and let craft, and then have like little things, and it's like a little 5x5 tiny thing, but I don't have like any pictures of it yet because I'm in the middle of it. I started it as one of my cross stitch Monopoly pieces. We have 12 minutes. I wanted to, there are kind of like two things I wanted to mention before I get to this thing. Yep, thank you, RGB. That is in fact exactly what it was. Let me go to where I can press a button and do that. Yeah, so Loose Ends Project is something that I wanted to talk about last Raid Train and forgot because I am bad about it. But Loose Ends Project is something where you as a crafter, whether you knit, crochet, do latch hook rugs, weave, whatever. Thank you, sweet. So you can sign up for the Loose Ends Project, and folks whose loved ones were working on something, like they've knit half a sweater or they crocheted half a scarf, and then passed away, not finishing the project, they can go to the Loose Ends Project and request that another crafter finishes the project for them. So I was very lucky. I got to finish about a third of a sweater for a woman whose mom put the sweater aside about a decade ago because she had Alzheimer's and like could not knit it anymore. And then her mom passed away and the sweater sat around some more, but she brought it to me, and I went to Webs and matched the yarn because there wasn't quite enough and finished it for her. So it was pretty cool. They try to find somebody near you, and you also so for example, for me, I had to put in it cannot come from a place with a cat. I just stop breathing when cat stuff is around. So it needed to come from a cat-free place, and I only put in knitting because I was like, I'm not good enough with any of the other things. And so they matched me up with somebody who was about a 15-minute drive away. So it's a really cool project. I'm gonna put the link here again because I think it's really cool and important. And they got some attention because they were on NPR and a little bit lately, but they haven't been very well known around. So I want to make sure I kind of spread the word more, I guess. So I wanted to make sure to talk about that. And then the other thing I kind of want to talk about is for anybody who is, I make my windows not be in bad places. For anybody who has ever wondered oh, I want to learn to knit, but there's so many different things and people keep talking about cables and lace and color changes, and it's all super overwhelming. So one of the things I wanted to mention is the Barocco Mystery Blanket Knit Along 2025. They, I guess, do this every year because it's got a 2025 on it, but I think they did something other than a blanket last time. But anyway, basically, it's a completely free thing. Wait, I have a button for this. It's a completely free pattern. The yarn obviously is not free, but you can use your own yarn or Barocco's. Every month they release a pattern for one or however many blocks for that month. And you kind of make blocks through October. In November, they give you instructions on how to put it together. And in December, you make an edging. But basically, so it's, I'm not going to sit on this webpage because that's silly. But in January, they did 2 texture blocks. And in February, they did 6 of these color changing things. They were really weirdly done because you cast on from the outside and then you decreased until you got to the center. But it was a really cool learning experience, right? March was 1 block of texture and 1 block of intarsia, so this kind of color change. And April was lace, so we had this kind of lace and also this kind of lace. And this one started by doing a little circle in the middle and then knitting in the round until you got to the full-size square. And then in May, we're doing, so this is the one I'm working on right now, which you cannot see, but this is the cables for May, and then there's 2 of them. So this is the second cable for May. Because I was working on the Spite sweater, I had not managed to actually work on on the maze blocks yet, and they're just 12 by 12 blocks. They're very simple, but they are very like, it's a sampler, right? So if someone thinks to themselves, oh, I want to learn how to do a whole bunch of knit things, I highly recommend it because it's nice and free. And then they provide like, so this is the colorway that I'm working on in. So they provide kind of this thing so you sort of know. Yeah, you probably should. This is like sort of what it's gonna look like. And so like I know that Cable Easy and Cable Easy in these corners are the two that I am working on in May. And I know that these like weird three like circular like bullseye things were the February blocks. And we know that this like four square thing is how they represented Intarsia. But these were like the colorways that they recommended, or you can obviously like do your own. I, being me, just like picked up a giant bag of colorway from them. But yeah, so like this is the mystery blanket knit along, and this is the first May block. So I've been working on it since like yesterday, I think, or the day before yesterday. And it's got like these little cables here, and then it's got like a more interesting-ish sort of cable here, or actually it's two separate cables. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm at. Also, we have like 5 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? Like, we're getting no crafting done on this stream, and that's fine. Why what? Why what? Like 42. 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, but like, you gotta ask a complete question, RGB. Or is that a why am I picking up a new craft? You don't need more projects. You're supposed to be making me a pillow. But you know, like but you know, like everybody clearly needs more projects in their life, obviously. Like, who wouldn't need more projects? Also, I'm like keeping an eye on the person I am supposed to read into. Yeah. Thank you. You know, I'm a bad Vulcan. I can't actually do it. Mostly because it's genetic, and I do not have the genetics for it. Neither did Leonard Nimoy, to be fair. He had to use tape. But you know, at least we have passed the time where everybody just asked me if I named myself after the 80s band, because nobody remembers the 80s band anymore, which is good. Now everybody thinks I named myself after Enterprise or Voyager, and I'm like, no, T'Pau was from Original Trek. T'Pau was the T'Pau was the only person to ever refuse a seat on the Federation Council, which is why I named myself after her. Of course you remember the band Absurd Nerd. Yeah. I don't even like mind their music, but I did not name myself after the band. Right, exactly. T'Pol is on Enterprise, and T'Pring has been on the Strange New Worlds, but like not on anything else. So, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I watched a lot of Voyager, but not all of Voyager. Voyager was actively on while I was in like college and things. Although so was DS9 and Next Gen, but I am forever and ever an original Star Trek girl. Not that it was on TV anytime that I've been alive, like happening for the first time. But it had Spock, and I have been a Spock fangirl for basically most of my life. Yeah, exactly, sweet. Exactly. I am all about Spock. I am the person who wrote horrible, and I mean horrible fan fiction about how clearly I and Spock were going to meet. I was like 15. Um, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad in every possible way, but boy, did I write it. Um, yeah. A lot of people I know were like shipping Kirk and Spock, and I'm like, nope, I was shipping me and Spock. Thank you. But yeah. Anyway, I think I think RGB is going to have a conniption if I don't mention that outside of streaming, both her and I work on World Science Fiction conventions. And, ooh. Yeah, but didn't they wasn't that actually canon? Weren't the two of them canon? Why do I remember that they were actually like having a thing in the show? Anyway, yes, we work on the World Science Fiction Convention, which, if folks don't know what it is where the Hugo Awards are handed out. So if you sometimes see a science fiction or fantasy book that says that they're a Hugo winner, that is an award that is given out by the World Science Fiction Convention. Ah, I see. Yeah, I know. Not only is this sweater somewhat spiteful, Zakela, but like New England weather has obliged, and it was 46 degrees yesterday and today. So I've actually am not wearing it just for kicks. I'm wearing it because I am cold. And also, it's the reason why I have not done my May blocks yet. But yeah. Oh my god, it is. It's totally raid out time, and I did not notice. Okay, let me go build a raid. We're going to be raiding out to Chimera's Quirky Creations, Chimera's QC. Let me go to my thing and click the we gotta go raid button. Raid channel. Let me go raid a channel, please. Yes, Chimera's QC, and they are on, and they look reasonably ready. So we're gonna start. Raid train conductor people. Does anybody have the raid call? Why do I not have it? I am prepared. I am a real streamer. I know what I am doing. These are all false. Yes, thank you. Please grab that. And thank you all for visiting. And please stay on the raid train. It's got many, many, many more stops. And I will see folks later. Okay, we ready? We are ready.